the first thing you need is a local host. Just like you mentioned, we need XAMPP. And you can download XAMPP from the apachefriends.org. So I have it installed on my system. It's very easy to install after downloading. Okay, so you go ahead and download for your operating system. You can download for Windows. I'm using Windows, so I'll go for download for Windows, then Linux if you are using Linux, or Mac. So I've downloaded mine and is installed. So the next thing you want to do is to also download WordPress. So you can just search on Google and type download WordPress. All you'll be downloading is a zip file. Okay, so yeah, the latest version is 6.0. so you go ahead and download. So you download the zip file. So let's wait for it to download. I think I have it downloaded already, but no problem. So after downloading, and of course you need to run your XAMPP. So I have mine here. I'll open it and run it. Okay, so I'll start. The Apache is the server for PHP, and you know WordPress runs on PHP. You understand the concept? We have to start Apache, which is the server for PHP, because WordPress is completely PHP, and the MySQL is the server for the database. We are using the MySQL database because your WordPress installation needs a database where it will move all the documents. You understand the concept? So we have to start the database server, which is MySQL. So after running that, you can access your database through localhost/phpMyAdmin. So this is it already. So you type in localhost /phpMyAdmin, then you go. So while that is loading, we'll try to extract our WordPress. We'll try to extract our WordPress. So I'll extract the files in this directory. Okay, is extracted. So this is this is everything I need for my WordPress dashboard or WordPress installation. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So when you download this phpAdmin is the dashboard to your database. So these are my databases. So I need to also create a new database for WordPress, for that particular WordPress site I want to create.
Okay.
So I'll create a new one. So I will give my database a name here. So I can just say WordPress training. So that's the name of my database. I will also need this name during the installation of WordPress. So I'll kind of copy it and then create my database. So the database is created. So the MySQL database is a relational database, as in it is in tabular format. If I open, let me try to open a database for you. So this is a database, and these are the tables in my database. Sorry, okay, let me look for another one. Okay, this. Okay, actually this is also a WordPress site I worked on some time ago. This is a WordPress site. So when you install your WordPress and you move everything into it, you have something similar to this for your website. So, but these are just the tables. It was a e-commerce. It was a e-commerce website. So it created all these tables. WordPress will create the tables for you during the installation, so you don't have to bother about it. And when you install any plugin or anything, it will create a table automatically for it if that plugin needs a database. You understand? You need here is just to create the database and just have the name. So after that, we go back to our folder. So I will copy this WordPress folder, this old folder. Then I will go into my XAMPP folder. Now during the installation of XAMPP, when you try to install XAMPP, always make sure you don't install XAMPP that automatically. If you are used to installation on Windows, automatically your any app you install, it creates the root folder here in this program files. You understand that?
Yeah.
But make sure you choose, even when you want to proceed with the default one, XAMPP will call your attention to it and tell you to install it outside the usual folder. It is like that. You get? So when you open XAMPP, the main server where you put all your websites, the directory of your website is the htdocs. So when you go to your browser and you press localhost / okay, these are the sites I'm working on, PHP sites that I'm working on, so that I'm serving locally or I'm hosting locally. These are the sites. So then I will have to paste my WordPress folder here, because this is the server folder. So anytime Apache wants to run a PHP site, when I type localhost / any site I want to, please, sorry. So this is the root folder for every of my sites. So when the server is actually coming here to look for any site I have here, when I press that localhost in my browser, so I will have to paste the site here. So I'll go ahead and paste that WordPress site here. If I go to my browser and try to, the name of the folder here is the WordPress. That's the name of the site, right? So if I go to my browser and just press localhost / WordPress, while that is loading, let me just still go. Okay, so this is it. For those of us that were with us yesterday, we came to a point here to in Pantheon, but there was a point we came to this when we were trying to install WordPress 2 on Pantheon. So after that, let me just take us through this. After that, you press continue. Then so you have to go through it. What WordPress needs from you? WordPress will need the following from you. Number one is the database name. You understand? The database username, the database password, and the database host. That's all. But since we have the database name, the host and the username and the password is usually default. I will show us the default. So the database name is what? Sorry, let me go back to. So this is the name we gave to the database. Let me just copy it from this place and paste it here. Then the name of the username is root. Then the password, you can just leave it blank. Then the host is what? Is localhost. You get it?
Yeah.
The host is localhost. You can just leave the password blank. Since it's a localhost, you can just leave it blank. But the username is root. Then the table prefix, that is for every table WordPress will create for you. it will always add this prefix to it. So it is needful so that you can know that that database actually is a WordPress database. So it will always add this prefix, just like we saw for this WordPress database too. This one, can you see this one?
Yeah.
So then after that we click submit. So after that we run the installation. So we also came to this point for Pantheon yesterday. So if I upload the yesterday's recording and you go through it, you get to all this point too. So you just give your website a name. I'll still give it this name, then username, then I'll still stick with this password. Let me just copy the password, then my mail, then I think after that just install. So with this I don't actually need internet to have access to WordPress. So it will install WordPress for us locally, so and we can have access to WordPress locally. I hope you understood it to this point.
Yeah, understood.
So, and I'm even recording this session too. So at any point in time you need to check it out and have access to it. So so after that you can log in with those password and username created. So I copy the password from that place and I'm pasting. Then voila, you have your dashboard. So it's as simple as that. For you to run WordPress locally, you just download WordPress, have your XAMPP, move it to the root folder, create your database. After creating your database, try to access your WordPress through the URL. Just localhost / the name. You may choose to change the name of the WordPress folder. For me, I would definitely have to change it because I have more than one WordPress folder in that root directory. You get what I'm saying?
So like basically now, when you create a WordPress, you have access to different templates.
Yeah,
Based on where does Elementor come in?
yeah. All these things we actually did them yesterday. They were things we discussed yesterday. So Elementor is a theme. Yesterday I said it's a plugin. Sorry, it's not a theme. It's a plugin. It's a plugin and it's also a page builder, or you can also say a website builder. So it makes creating a page or building a website very easy by just dragging and dropping. By just dragging and dropping. That's the essence of Elementor. So if I want to install Elementor now, I was able to have access to this because I'm connected to the internet. But actually, if you are not connected to the internet, you can actually download Elementor. As in, you also download it as a zip file. Then you can come here and upload. After downloading it, you click here and choose. I think I downloaded it sometime somewhere. Let me check. But if you are connected to the internet, you can actually go ahead and search for it here and install. But I think I downloaded it sometime. I don't know where. Let me check. Okay, yeah, I think this is it. So if I go ahead and open, just to show us how to install plugins from our system. Yeah. So then I'll click on install now. Then every other thing WordPress will do for me. So it will unpackage it first, then check for all the folders, then after that it will install it. But everything we did yesterday was purely online. Okay, it's installed already. Then I'll have to activate it. So another thing you also want to make sure in WordPress is that always make sure your plugins are activated. Your plugins are your theme. Actually, the one you want to use, make sure they are what? They are activated. We came to this point too yesterday in Pantheon. So I'll just have to skip, skip. All these things you can set it later, so it's not necessarily you set them now. I'll also skip this. Then after that it will open Elementor for us to create, maybe perhaps to create your first page. To create my first page. So this is just Elementor, but I think the major theme for today is just running, because this one now we are running locally. I actually don't need internet to run all this on my system. As long as my XAMPP my Apache is running, and my MySQL is running, that's all I need to run WordPress locally. You get it. So
I'm following.
okay. So this is Elementor. Elementor is a plugin and is a page builder that makes building a website really fast and very easy. It makes it very easy. There are so many add-on in so many elements and add-on in Elementor. Although we also have the premium version of Elementor, so you can also get the premium version. All you just need is to install it the way you installed Elementor. All you just need is to just upload the plugin the way you uploaded Elementor, and you can get access with the Pro. You can get access to many functionality and even many templates too, and also many templates. So I'll just demonstrate something little here. So let me just create. Now the reason I can't edit anything here is because this is the header of the page, and for those of us that were around yesterday, I said you cannot edit the header or the footer. I can't edit any of these things here, any of this word here. You can't edit the header and the footer in Elementor. You can only do that using the customizer, the default WordPress customizer. It is in yesterday's tutorial. When we check it out, you'll see there. So we try to edit and do some editing on the header and the footer yesterday. But the only thing you can do in Elementor is work on the body of the page. So this page now is blank and is not yet published. So let's say I want to add what should I add? Let me add an image. So everything in Elementor are in columns, and in columns you can have just one width column, two width column, 3, 4, depending on the block you want to add or the kind of section you want to create. You may want to create let's say for example a news block, and you may just want four on a row. So you need a structure like this. But since I just want to create an image that will span the length of my page. And actually when you are working, maybe because of this you are not able to see the full length of what you are working with, you can actually hide it here to see what you are working on. So you'll be seeing it the way a regular visitor to your website will be seeing it this way, and you can bring it back this way. So I'll create a one width column. Then if I click here, it will take me back to this place where I will have to drag and drop in what I want to add. So I want to add an image, so I'll go here and drag and drop here. So it will create that, it will give me that default icon of an image, but I need to upload my image. So after I'll click on choose image, then I'll come here. You want to use your existing images, maybe images you have uploaded in the past. It will bring you here to the media library, or you can just upload. So let me look for an image. So after that I will insert the media. So this is the image. This is the image. Now this is a column. There are actually two sections within this particular area. Number one, we have the main section, which is defined by this blue line that we can see here. Then we have another one, which is the column, which is defined by this. There's a dotted line here. You may not see it, but there's a dotted line, and it's because we are having just one column. That is why the image is filling the whole space. Assuming, let's try to create another section and select two columns. So we have two columns. I can choose to add an image here. Let me go back to this place. Drag and drop in an image. Let me choose an image. I'll go with the one we uploaded previously also. Okay, but here, let me say I want to add an heading here. Heading, and also here I want to add some text too, some text, and also a button. So that's it. Please, do you get me? You can respond so that I can know I'm communicating. Hello. So I can write my text here. So we are beginning to see the advantage of Elementor. Just by dragging and dropping things, we can create our own custom website instead of going all the way, taking the rigor of writing code and all. I know what it will cost me. I think Mr. Jeremiah is a front-end developer, so he knows the rigor you have to go through just to create something like this with HTML and CSS. But it is something we have just done within few seconds in Elementor. So let me just add heading and just write up space or something. Then these are my text. You can also edit this and write whatever you want to write, and you can also edit the button too. The button, you add your link here. So anything you click here, you will receive an action tab here to make edits to it. So you can edit the content of that space. It can be a button, it can be, if I click here too, the same format. So I can edit the content, which is the main content of contained in that particular section. This is called an inner section. So firstly, we have the main section, which is this defined by this blue. Then inside it we have the column. These are two columns. This icon is signifying that this is a column, and this also is signifying that this is another column, and this is an inner section. All these are inner section with this blue icon here. The inner section. So if I click on it, I can edit the content, the style, and there's an advanced function to it which we will not be able to cover today. But actually the advanced function is just the CSS part. Maybe you want to add some additional CSS functionality to it, or styling to it, or layer to it. You can add it in the advanced, but we'll still come back to that. But it's just to tell us that each inner section you can edit the inner content, also add some styling to it, the width, the height, to the color, and if it's a content that needs to be colored. And I think we need to round up. I'm very sorry for Fine. I said it initially that our class tonight will be very, very brief.